My name is Rod Goelz, and this is Basses Loaded. Today's tutorial is on Pickstyle bass. Now, my history of Pickstyle bass, I did not start out initially playing with the pick because, frankly, I thought it was a cop-out because I have a guitar player background. The pick to me represented all the lame bass players that I didn't like when I was a kid. Okay, so then I heard people like Anthony Jackson. I really listened to Paul McCartney. I really listened to Carol Kay. I really listened to, more recently, artists like Bobby Vega and Cody Wright. And they were masters of the pick as we know it. So now, that is an art. What they have done with the pick is an art. The reason we would do anything technique-wise, say why would we choose the pick in Pickstyle technique-wise, is because it creates a sound that nothing else creates. Okay, so this bass pick, when we play with it, it creates an articulation that the fingers are not capable of using or of creating. Okay, that's a different sound when you play with your fingers. All right, so Pickstyle is an essential part of my bass player arsenal, my toolbox, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it today. So now we're gonna go over some techniques. So the first technique that we have is the basic the pick itself and the stroke and anchoring. So the pick that I like to use is the 73, what I refer to as the Bobby Vega Dunlop pick. Okay, it's a Dunlop pick. It's a yellow Dunlop tortoise pick. Okay, now I don't like it too thick. I don't like it too thin. I like give in the pick, but I don't like it too thin because it gets all wonky and everything. So now, how do I hold a pick? Well, it's probably like I put my thumb on the turtle, and with my index finger, I hold it, and it's like an arrow pointed towards me. Other people do it differently. This is just the way I do it. You can experiment with different angles. Like some people play with the round edges. I don't. I play with the pointy edge. All right. Okay. Now the other thing that I do that's very important to my technique when it comes to Pickstyle playing is anchoring of the pinky. When I anchor, what it does is it creates a point of stability. So the pinky is down on the face of the bass a lot of the time. This is one way to anchor. So my arm is not flailing when I play. So my pick is anchored on the G string of the bass. Part of what you're noticing here is the basic pick style rudiment is to keep your pick in constant motion. So if I'm playing eighth notes, notice that my wrist is in a constant movement. It doesn't start and stop. Objects that are in motion stay in motion. Economy of motion, these ideas. Now what I can do, if I want to go from eighths to sixteenths in some sort of way, 16th notes. So mixing 8ths and 16ths are the same stroke. My wrist is moving the same way. That is technique gold when it comes to Pickstyle playing. That is technique gold. Okay, next what I want to talk about is palm muting. That's another form of, it's a form of articulation. It's also a form of anchoring. Sometimes I'll anchor my whole hand. Instead of having my pinky there, I'll anchor my wrist on the bridge of the bass, and I create that muted sound that I love about a lot of older bass players from the 60s like James Jamerson and Paul McCartney. muted bass sound. It's in a lot of stuff. It's in a lot, and it can be a very funky sound. So my wrist is on that portion of the neck. Okay. Okay, and if I use that with the 16ths and 8ths, okay, so another technique that we want to talk about is dead stroking, and dead stroking is the idea of making a percussive part in your instead of, it's muting, but it's muting to the point where there's no sound. It's just percussive. These are dead strokes. Like when Anthony Jackson recorded For the Love of Money by the OJs. He was a studio player in the early 70s, and that was his really important Pickstyle bass song. Those dead strokes are what made the groove and what made it a Pickstyle song. One last technique associated with my Pickstyle playing, and this is a personal one that I don't see lots of people use, but I do, because what I do is I cross techniques when I play, and what it is pick slap. When we play pick slap, this is something I learned from Alan Woody of the Allman Brothers and Government Mule. Alan Woody would play. He wouldn't slap the bass like normal people do. He wouldn't do it that way. What he would do instead was he would play and with his middle finger he would pluck up. So that's another technique you can use and put in your arsenal of Pickstyle things to do. All right? Okay, so now these techniques that I showed you, that you can use them in rock, you can use them in country. I've used them in every kind of music that you can imagine, and that's one of the beautiful things about being a bass player, is that if you are a steady bass player, the chances are very good that you'll hit all these styles, more so than I would say other instrumentalists. So like a reggae. Or funk. Or rock and roll. Okay, the Pickstyle technique can be used in all these cases. All right. My name is Rod Goelz. This is Basses Loaded, a Pickstyle tutorial. We hope you got a lot out of this. So anyway, visit us on music@metropolis.com. Talk to you later.